Alright, I want you guys to take a quick journey into my brain real quick. This match right here is going to be my third attempt at a match that I've recorded all the way through, edited almost 80% of the way through, and then fucking deleted it. Because that's how I work. Welcome to my brain when it comes to editing and just recording in general. I don't mind recording, just hate editing because I'm a perfectionist, and then once I hate what I record, if I don't like it, I just delete it and start over. Hi, what is up, all of you ICBA type people? This is Tom here, bringing you guys my week 6 match against OmegaJolteon and his Carolina Carracostas, I believe. Like I said, this match I've recorded many times. This match should have went up, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something like that, but it didn't. So, hi, here we are. Gonna try and run through this match a little bit quicker, mostly because things kind of fell into place after this, that he and I will probably and most likely at this point, and then even down the line, be facing in playoffs. So I'm not going to go into detail about my team outside of things that weren't necessarily shown or were discussed with him post game. So gonna go through his team real quick. His team consists of Mega Metagross, Garchomp, Greninja, Togekiss, Arcanine, Breloom, Seismitoad, Quillfish, Abomasnow, and Dusknoir. He did have a Licky, I believe, but he dropped that for Dusknoir. His Z users are gonna entail Garchomp, Greninja, Arcanine, and Abomasnow, all of which are going to be Z offensive only. And I know for a fact that he is very regretful on taking Mega Metagross because of how it limited his other picks. I think he's in that camp where in the leagues like this, if there is a Mega option that's, you know, above your tier 1 Mega tier, don't do it. Omega can kind of agree. Don't do it. He didn't like it, and he's kind of regretting it now. So my team is going to consist of Tornadus T, Mismagius, Nidoqueen, Genesect, Mega Medicham, and Alolan Persian. My Genesect is going to be a Choice Scarf this week. It's going to have U-Turn, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and the last move wasn't necessarily seen, so I'm not going to talk about it. But U-Turn for Pivot, this is a very nice check to things like Greninja. If it is like Choice Specs, even if it's Choice Scarf, to know what's locked into, be able to U-Turn out and knock it out right there. It does have some solid checks, especially on this team, to kind of handle a Genesect, going for U-Turn, but it doesn't really stop him from getting the momentum, so to say. Ice Beam is there for Garchomp, and then Flamethrower is there for general coverage. It's also good to knock out the Mega Metagross if it is, speedy, just good coverage in general. Max special attack and enough speed, I believe, to outpace Timid Togekiss, I think. Next up, we have Mega Medicham. This is just going to be an Adamant Nature set because of, again, based on speed tiers, also, I believe, enough to outpace a Togekiss. It's going to be, max attack, Adamant, Drain Punch, Zen Headbutt, Ice Punch. Obviously, coverage move, Ice Punch for Chomp. Drain Punch, and Zen Headbutt are just good coverage in general for most of his team. What isn't super effectively or neutrally hit for one move is covered by the other, mostly. And, like, if I have hazards up, things that would be able to switch into this won't really like to. So that's kind of the idea with this Mega Medicham. Next up, we have a Nidoqueen set. This is going to be mostly a defensive set with a little bit of speed, enough to outpace a Togekiss if it is trying to creep my Nidoqueen. It's going to have Sludge Wave, Earth Power, kind of necessary. Ice Beam there is for the Togekiss as well as even the Garchomp. Then Stealth Rock, because Stealth Rock are really important this week. I really want to ensure I can get those up. I really need Stealth Rock to stay up because that heavily pressures this Togekiss as well as the Arcanine to have to recover and not as often attack. So that's kind of the idea there. And it's going to be holding Pyop Berry as kind of a lure for the Mega Metagross in case it wants it. They're going to have to choose between going for Earthquake or going for Zen Headbutt. I believe Zen Headbutt would be the better bring here, but he could also just as likely bring Earthquake. Just 3 moves, and obviously Ground, Poison, and Ice just cover a lot of his mons in general. So that's kind of the idea there. Next up, we have a very defensive, very quick, Jolly Alolan Persian. This is going to be enough speed to, I believe, outpace Garchomp? Yeah. Knockoff, Parting Shot, Foul Play, and Taunt. This is also going to be a Z user carrying the Darkinium Z. This is either to heal something up with a Parting Shot, or it's to just get off some solid damage with, like Z Knockoff, Z Foul Play if I really want to. And then Taunt is there just to shut down, things from healing, whether it's Dusknoir from Pain Splitting, or Arcanine from Morning Sun, or Will-O-Wisping, Togekiss from Defogging, Roosting, Thunder Waving, kind of that idea. But knockoff is there to get rid of items. Parting shot's there to pivot out and keep matchups in my favor. And foul play is there to stop Mega Metagross as well as Garchomp because they can't set up. They really, unless they're Scarfs, they would outspeed, but I'd then be able to get a lot of damage off. And if they aren't faster, then I just knock them outright or do a good like 60 to 75% just outright with foul play if they aren't set up or banded or something. So obviously Garchomp being banded, not Mega Metagross. Next up we have a Timid Specs Mismagius. This is there to outspeed the Garchomp. This is going to have Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Icy Wind. Last week wasn't shown. But Shadow Ball is just great general coverage. He has one resist to Shadow Ball, and that's Greninja. And I really don't think Greninja wants to come in and take Shadow Balls ever. All the rest of his mons just take it neutrally or super effective in terms of being weak to it. Dazzling Gleam is coverage for Garchomp as well as Greninja. Icy Wind is there to revenge a Garchomp because my Mox actually, I did see Outrage Garchomp come in a few times. I know I could come in, and revenge it with Icy Wind. So that's kind of the idea there. Max special attack. And then finally we have Tornadus. This is going to be a very fun set. A lot of diverse IVs, or a lot of diverse EVs and bulk, special attack, speed. I'm not really going to go into it specifically, but it is fast enough to, I believe, outpace Garchomp. Garchomp or Mega Metagross. I don't remember which one. We have Air Slash. We have Heat Wave for the Metagross. Air Slash is good general coverage that most of his team. Taunt is there again, like Taunt on Persian, to shut down support moves, status moves, defogging especially. I defog my own because I really don't want rocks on my side of the field. If it means I have to get rid of rocks totally from his side and my side, I'll do that. But I want to ensure that my rocks stay up and his don't. So that's kind of the idea with this Tornadus. I like this team that I built. I think it's very solid as compared to when he and I faced the first time, which I'm sure some of you guys don't know, but we did face once before in the PPL, a game that you guys will never see. It was, I believe, like my second or third match in the PPL, but basically, I took over for Mono. He had dropped, I liked the team sort of that he had drafted. I had like Komodo, Gengar, Mega Beedrill, things like that. But what happened was I had a special attacking Komodo, and I believe he had like some sort of like AV Suicune, and I end up going for, I try to go for Clanging Scales, he goes for Ice Beam. He ends up freezing me. I stay frozen for 3 turns as I get knocked out to Ice Beam, and then basically he just goes ahead and he ends up knocking me out just because then my Gengar, I wanted to go for like Shadow Ball or something, or Energy Ball, and I wasn't able to see that he was Assault Vest because he froze me the entire time. And I think I just lost from there, just because I didn't really have the firepower to end up beating his team. So, anyway, bad match. So I want to get my revenge this time. I really would like to beat him, and that's kind of going to be my plan. I am going to lead off with my Tornadus. I believe it's an anti-lead to something like Greninja, even an anti-lead to something like Garchomp. Basically, it ensures that I can just have a positive matchup. Maybe force him out, maybe kind of fake that I have U-turn, or even just be able to get off damage, or just taunt outright. So that's kind of the idea. Yeah, that's kind of idea. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to go right for taunt. Sorry, checking my phone. And I'm going to make sure he just doesn't get up any sort of spikes or any kind of bullshit like that. He does it going for Dark Pulse, and that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't able to get up spikes or T-spikes, because my Mox I was seeing spikes, and it was kind of common, and it did pressure my team, and I really was trying to avoid all of that, because the combination of rocks and spikes, like I said, talking about the breakdown, was that I just don't want that to be an issue. I'm going to bring in my Mega Medicham here. I know outright it's going to die, whether it goes for Dark Pulse, it goes for Ice Beam, after switching into one. First of all, I want to scout for the Ice Beam. I want to be able to see if he had it, and I know it would knock Tornadus out at where it was, but then we also see it's a Z move, so I know it's not Specs, it's not Scarf, everything. It's not some sort of like damage reduction berry, which is good. He is going to knock out Mega Medicham here, but that's not really a bad thing, because he had 3 solid checks to it, and 2 mons that outspeed Mega Medicham. Actually 3. So Garchomp, Mega Metagross, and Gren all outsped Mega Medicham, and 3 solid checks. Arcanine, Togekiss, and Dusknoir pretty much cover all of this thing's options, and force me to play a really, really tedious 50-50 game, or just guessing outright. So, had to go down, got some information out on this Greninja, and I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to go on my Scarf Genesect, and like you guys have seen in previous weeks, all this thing's really going to do is just do a lot of pivoting with U-turn. I'm okay with that just because it allows me to get back into a favorable position. I'm going to be able to U-turn out On this Dust Noir, he's going to see them Choice Scarf. Not really a surprise there based on how I brought it in against a fast Demon and Greninja. And I'm able to pivot out. I believe I go right here into my Persian. I go out here into Persian because I know that knockoff is going to... Or I'm sorry, I go into Nidoqueen. I think I went into Persian. On this matchup, I'm going to be able to get my rocks up for free. I'm also be able to see what he is. Now, he does go for Earthquake. If he's Spadef or defensive, this is probably going to do upwards of like 40%. But we end up seeing he does a little bit over 50%, which is a lot of damage. And I'm going to ensure just that my rocks are up. That is the important part right here, because now, like I said earlier, Togekiss is going to be forced to defog if it has it. Otherwise, they're up to stay. And I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to make the hard readout into my Tornadus. He could have went for Ice Beam there. That also would have killed the Nidoqueen at the range that I was at. But based on the damage here that you're going to see from his Air Slash, that's a Assault Vest as hell. Now also, it wouldn't be a match against Omega if he didn't have an Assault Vest user. In this case, it's Dust Noir. In our first match, it was Suicune. But he's going to go for Ice Punch. He's going to do a solid chunk of damage. I think he's trying to get the freeze. He did tell me post-game that he clicks a lot of ice moves to try and get the freeze just to kind of rub it in. You're a bastard, but I see you. I see you. He's going to go for Ice Punch again on my Persian. And I doesn't really do all much damage, but I didn't want Tornadus to go down because it is a solid offensive-ish check to that as well as the Greninja. Assuming I can get the prediction right, it doesn't go for super effective move outright. But I go for knockoff as he switches out. Now this is what I was talking about. Knockoff would, at that range, kind of knock off the Dust Noir after the Air Slash damage that it had taken. If nothing else, just get it down super, super low. So I'm going to knock off as he... knock off is his weakness policy, which is very, very strange. I didn't quite expect it to be a weakness policy set. I guess he told me later he was trying to pass off boost to something like Arcanine to kind of ravage through the team, which I understand, and that's a pretty solid tactic. But I knock off as he roosts on the switch into Tornadus. Then he's going to roost, he's going to roost up. He's going to be full HP, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to taunt. As he's going to go for Air Slash, he's going to miss. The taunt there was just to ensure that he couldn't defog, he couldn't Thunder Wave, which I thought maybe were moves that he had. Obviously, I was wrong. He's going to go for Air Slash. He's going to do a solid like 35, almost 40%. As I'm going to keep clicking Air Slash as well. So I know he can't roost up, but I also don't have roost. But I know, like I was doing before with Dust Noir, and even with the Greninja, I know that I could see what moves he has, kind of get an idea for the investment into what this mon has on its move pool, and then be able to switch out because their generator is just going to bypass all the damage that he did to me. I'm going to go out into my Nidoqueen, and he's going to go for Air Slash again. I thought really I was just sacking off Nidoqueen here. Realistically, he doesn't kill, but also what was even more surprising is I outspeed here, and I'm going to be able to knock him out with the Sludge Wave. So the speed investment on this Nidoqueen definitely helped, and it allowed me to take out this Togekiss, which he did tell me later on. This was to outslow a Lantern, which is very surprising. So the speed investment didn't really matter, but being able to knock it out and while keeping my Nidoqueen alive, super awesome. He's going to knock me out here with Dragon Claw. Okay, cool. This gives me a free switch out into my Genesect. Nidoqueen did what it needed to do. It got rocks up. It was able to claim a kill against the Togekiss, which I was very impressed about. I'm very happy that I was able to do more than just get up rocks. Now right here, he knows I'm Scarfed. I can try and bluff that I'm going to go for Ice Beam, but instead I'm just going to go for U-Turn. Even if I just, went for U-Turn, I would just go route like something like Tornadus, maybe even Persian, just to see if it stays in. He tries to go for like Fire Fang, tries to go for like Earthquake or something. Both those mons can take those hits, or at least Persian mostly can take that hit no problem. And of course I have the Parting Shot to kind of get out after that, or a Foul Play to threaten him out. So I'm going to U-Turn as he goes out in Dust Noir, and then right here I am going to knock him out with a knockoff. Like I was talking about earlier, all the damage I was getting off on the Dust Noir ensured that that knockoff was not a roll. It wasn't some kind of hit that I wasn't sure if it was going to kill. It was going to kill, and that's kind of what was important there. He goes out into Garchomp, and right here I am going to go right for Foul Play. I got the speed investment right. Obviously I'm going to outspeed this Garchomp. That does a solid 60%. That was pretty much the purpose of having Foul Play here. If he was Scarfed, obviously I would have seen it, because the way he knocked out Nidoqueen, I couldn't really tell if he was banded, Scarfed, or anything. Here I believe he shows he's not banded, but he's also not Scarfed because I did outspeed. So maybe he's like some sort of damage reduction berry. Can't be Z because that Greninja was Z. So I think later on he tells me it was a Yachi berry set. But I'm going to go for another Foul Play as he switches hard in Greninja. And I kind of have to start playing a little bit around Greninja plus the combination of his other mons. But mostly Greninja, because every time this thing comes in I kind of have to figure out what's going to take damage or what's going to potentially get hit pretty hard. At this point, it's going to be my Tornadus as he does click Ice Beam. There was a chance for me to kind of live this. Doesn't really matter though because he does outspeed. But I just figure pick something to sack. In this case, it's going to be Tornadus. That's fine because again, it gets me out into Genesect here, and I'm okay with that. Genesect will be able to come in. It's going to be able to click U-turn, which really has no downside at this point. I believe Kiss is down. Let's see. Greninja can't stay in. The Dust Noir is down, so I click U-turn and it's going to sack off his Garchomp. This is very back and forth. Whenever Greninja comes in, it's probably going to claim a kill. Whenever Genesect comes in, it's probably going to claim a kill. This reminds me a lot of my match against Matt, or even against Aaron, where things are just really threatening. Like one mon is very, very threatening to the other person, but it's just about how it's played on if it's going to be effective at really clearing out the entire team or not. So I go out into my Mismagius here. I'm going to pause real quick. Alright, so Mismagius, if he is not bulky whatsoever, and he's just straight offensive, Shadow Ball's going to kill it from 75%. If he has any bulk investment in terms of HP, SPDF, or defense, not defense, but SPDF or HP, it won't kill. But if he doesn't have any attack investment, he's not going to be able to knock me out with Flare Blitz at full. So right here is kind of going to be telling as to what type of Arcanine this was. And he is going to see that, obviously, I'm faster. Shadow Ball is not going to kill, so this means this thing was very, very bulky. It barely does 50%, which is kind of impressive for an Arcanine. So he is very SPDF. He doesn't go for Flare Blitz, but he has HP and full max attack. So he knocks me out with Flare Blitz, takes a lot of damage in return. This allows me to get out into Genesect because I know I am faster. Since I'm not at -1, as a matter of fact, I think I am at +1? Yeah, +1. I can just click U-turn and it's going to knock him right out. Now, trying to do the calc for this was kind of stupid just because I had to like get it up to +2 so that it showed +1 in the calc. You guys know what I'm talking about. Go for U-turn, it's going to knock him out, no problem. If it was at neutral, it'd kind of be a roll, so it's like, you know, Thunderbolt or something. I'm sorry. Yeah, like Ice Beam or Flamethrower or something, which I really don't want to do. So I click U-turn, be able to knock him out, get out my Persian. I see he goes out into Greninja. Anything else that I would have went into would have been a little bit worse, I'd say, because it's 2v2. I didn't want to go. Actually, I couldn't actually go into anything. I didn't. Yeah, actually, that's it. That couldn't go anything. I'm gonna make a hard switch here out into my Genesect because we are down to 2v2, and I want to play a little aggressively so I can maybe have the upper hand. Ice Beam was his best play there. If he had gone for HP Fire, if he had HP Fire, I was in range on my Persian to die from it, and also Genesect would have died from it as well, so that he would have won the game there if he had HP Fire there. End of the game, he ends up not having it. But I go for U-turn. Gonna be able to pivot out against this Mega Metagross and get back out of my Persian. Now, right here again, I have another choice to make. Is he gonna stay in, let me click Foul Play, or is he gonna hard switch? I predict somewhere in the middle. And I say that because, okay, I can click Knockoff. It's not going to do anything because we always see this is ICMZ. If he switches out and he doesn't go into Greninja, Foul Play and Knockoff are going to do actual dog shit. It's going to force me to then pick something to die. My other option was the Parting Shot, which, again, against something that has a clear body that could have stayed in, would have just been meaningless, would have means that the Genesect would have taken damage or died outright based on whatever move he went for, like Earthquake, for example, right? So I actually make kind of a medium play, like somewhere right in the middle. And I'm actually going to click Dark EMZ Foul Play. It's going to do the most damage I could possibly do to Greninja, as well as ensure that if he had stayed with Metagross, it would have died because the Foul Play is the highest damage I could do. Super effective, would have allowed me to at least knock it out or get close to if it was a roll, if he was a little bit bulky. But in the case with this Greninja, this is my best play, both middle ground, and it covered the most options for him to make the switch or not. So I'm kind of impressed with myself and glad that I did make this, because this right here, that damage right there, puts it in range to ensure that I can knock him out with Flamethrower had he switched or something, or went for Ice Beam, he knocked out Persian, right? If you clicked Ice Beam, he knocked out Persian. I just clicked Flamethrower with Genesect. Based on the damage I got off with U-turn earlier, seeing that he's at just about 50%, as well as the HP that Greninja was at, I'd be able to click Flamethrower, knock that out because I was Scarfed. Metagross wouldn't outspeed me, knock that out with Flamethrower as well. But in this case, he's going to be able to basically knock out Persian, just based on speed, investment. Thought I outsped this, but I don't. He has to go for Earthquake. This could have been a 2-0, but instead it's going to be 1-0 because I'm going to go around and Genesect after this. We'll be able to click, Flamethrower, and knock out this Mega Metagross. And actually, I'm not going to lie, I am genuinely impressed with myself. Not by the prep, but mostly by like the late game plays. I felt like I kind of mitigated the Togekiss, Dusknoir, Arcanine early. I kind of played around the Greninja to ensure that, you know, I kind of saw the Z move, was able to get Rocks up effectively, and then in the late game, able to play around his two biggest offensive threats being Mega Metagross and Greninja with my Persian and Genesect. You know, a lot could have went wrong, a lot could have went right in this match, so I'm genuinely glad that the match was a good one between, you know, he and I. So GG to Omega. Very happy I was able to play you again, and I know I'm going to play you again in the playoffs. So with that in mind, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I'm going to try and bring out a few more videos for you guys. I have a match against Johnny, and then I'll talk about a few things after that. Not to mention that, but we also have the NPA and the GBA League War, so I'll be bringing some matches whenever I can get those done and uploaded and edited and all that. You guys have obviously seen a few from other content creators, or two from like Patters, who's done both of his very, very early. Mostly to capitalize on like the LGP stuff. So that's me rambling. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this match. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know how you guys feel about me going up against Johnny, the actual commissioner of the ICBA, next week. And with that being said, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.